Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining me today for this little question and answer webinar. This webinar is going to be primarily focused on the Galactic Akashic Reading Certification course that is going to be starting on April 1st and this year. And the course is going to resume up until May 28th. That will be the last day of the course. So I wanted to put this together because we've been getting a lot of questions from people about what the course is about. What is it? How is it formatted? Do they have to attend live? What is it? How do we do it? And so I wanted to take this opportunity just to explain to everyone, just the components of the course, how we had it set up, and answer your questions as well, which we will do on the second part of this webinar. I'm going to reserve the first part just to go over some basic points about the course, and then from there we can get into your questions. I want to thank everybody also that we've got a lot of questions that came in. And I want to thank you for taking the time to send us those questions. I'm going to try to pick out the most asked ones so that everybody can get their questions answered. Let's go ahead and get started. So I want to explain why I decided to create this course. My reason for creating this, it was, I would say, various reasons why I decided to create this course. Obviously, the first one is because I was receiving a lot of requests from people that wanted to learn the galactic components of doing Akashic readings. There's a lot of Akashic reading courses out there, and many of them are very, very good as far as just the basics of how to access the Akashic records. But my desire in creating this course was to basically create something that encompass the aspects of galactic origins and the galactic history. So if you're going to access those types of that type of information, if you're going into that higher realm of the Akashic records, it's very, very helpful to understand what it is that you're looking at. What happens when you start learning to read Akashic records is that you go into the records and you're just overwhelmed with an overload of information. And if you're accessing records from different star systems or different galaxies or universes, it can become very, very overwhelming. So my team and I decided to put together, I would say over 13 videos, probably closer to 15 videos, or maybe even more, that we created to help explain in a more linear fashion the galactic history of this galaxy and the Andromeda galaxy and the different star systems that we see over and over again when we're working with the Galactic Akashic Records. And so this is very professionally produced. We have pretty much Hollywood level production videos that you'll be able to watch. And we set it up into modules. This information is so vast that we had to set it up into 8 modules. I think we might even have more modules than that now because we're going to offer some additional ones this year. But we've had so many, it's so encompassing that we wanted to break it up to where it becomes more easily digestible for the average person, just the average person going through the course, So we set it up into these modules. So we kind of give it to you in kind of like bite size. So the way to eat an elephant is to eat it bite by bite. So we wanted to make it a nice flow. So I think you will enjoy the way we've had it formatted and set up. There's a lot of also additional course materials that we've also added, quite a few different flow charts and documents, particularly when you're learning how to do the actual Akashic reading portion of the course. We have a lot of documents that supports that. We have homework modules. We have also, I think, some book recommendations. I'm big into books. I'm a voracious reader, so I also have a lot of book recommendations that I would like to, that I offer in the homework section of each of the modules. We do have in the middle of the course, so it's an 8-week long course. On week 5, we basically have decided to give everybody a break. It's mainly just a makeup week because there's so much information that initially when people first start getting into it, they get really overwhelmed. And so we've given you a makeup week on week 5 just to catch up. And then, so weeks 1 through 4 is basically Galactic History. We do go a little bit into the Akashic reading aspects, but we go more into that in weeks 6 through 8. So that's just a little explanation of how it's set up. My other reasons for creating this course is because I've been doing readings now for about, I would say 10, 12 years. And I've loved doing the readings. It's been a great journey. But my own personal role and my own personal goals have changed. And so I've shifted out of doing personal readings. So I wanted to give other people the opportunity to learn these skills for themselves, and it's not just to do this as a business, although you certainly can use this information to incorporate it into a spiritual business, but it's mainly to develop our intuitive abilities. I found that through the years I've been working with Akashic Records, it's really transformed my life in so many varying levels. I mean, even just, purchasing and, trying to find and purchase a house. I mean, I've used the Akashic Records even for basic things like that, beyond just, very big spiritual questions. But it's transformed my life in a way that I never thought was even possible for somebody that, pretty much had, a difficult, first 50 years, So I wanted to offer this to everyone so that they too can use this information in order to transform their own lives. And the lives of others. It enables you to be more of service to others. Another reason why I decided to offer this course and to create it the way I did was to give even current spiritual practitioners an additional tool to add to their spiritual toolkits in order for them to be able to access that information that's going to make them even more of an effective healer or a spiritual practitioner than they are now. So I really do hope that you are able to see the vision behind why I created this. We're actually offering this course at, I would say, a very reasonable price, considering all the information that you're going to be getting throughout the 8 weeks. So the cost of this course is $1,250, so that's $1,250. We do have a payment plan where you can pay half up front and then half right before you start the course. So we have that option as well. And from what I understand, I think if you pay through Kajabi, they might have some different payment options. You'll have to check with Kajabi, but pretty much that's the cost of the course. It costed us a lot of money. It actually costed me a lot of money to produce this. So, and I have team members that I need to pay that are helping me with the course process. So I need to pay them as well. So it's not that I'm trying to pocket a lot of money. It's just that it costs a lot of money to produce this kind of level of information. So getting on to the next point here, I think I might have answered this a little bit, how the Akashic Records have transformed my life. Well, I guess I'll start with when I first started learning to work with the Akashic Records. So this was back in 2014. So in 2012, I had my great spiritual awakening. Many of you know I had an extraterrestrial contact experience that happened not just once but twice in 2012. And for 2 years after that, I spent quite a bit of my time pursuing spiritual knowledge. So I took as many spiritual classes as I could in every different genre. It didn't matter if it was Native American medicine wheel or harmonic astronomy or crystal healing or Reiki. I took it all. I was on this fast track journey to try to figure out what the heck was going on, So I was noticing during this time that I was starting to get downloads of information, not just on galactic occurrences or galactic events, but also just personal informations about different people. And that really seemed to resonate with them. It was just like, I'd get this download and I'd be telling somebody something. I was like, how do you know that? So I had to figure out what the heck, where am I getting this information from? So I talked with my Reiki instructor and she said, well, it sounds like you're getting information from the Akashic Records. And I was like, what's that? Because I didn't even know what that was. And she explained it to me and said, I actually teach Akashic Records readings. And she was actually located in my hometown. So, I live in Castle Rock, Colorado. So I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, definitely I want to take your course, So she had 3 different levels. And so I took all 3 levels. But even after the first level, I was already doing Akashic readings professionally. What I found through accessing the Akashic Records is it not only gave me information about how about, I guess, say galactic star races or galactic history or just information about the universe or spiritual information. But I was finding that I was able to assist people through their own spiritual paths and their own spiritual awakenings. And the way that has impacted me was, I'm just going to give 2 examples because we're getting close to I need to stay on track here with my time, but I would say it really helped me with my physical health. I was able to work with the Akashic Records, my guides, and the Akashic guides on getting some clear-cut solutions to the myriad of health problems I had for a number of years. I'm now in the best health I've ever been in my life, and I'm grateful and I would say very humbled, to be at the state at my age. I'm 61 years old, so I feel amazing. The other area where I saw that transform my life was, I would say, through my own spiritual path. It gave me a really clear-cut vision and mission, or a really clear-cut vision on my mission and how to proceed, each step of the way. A lot of that was also through my connection with my higher self and higher guidance, but it enabled me to have the intuitive gifts in order to access that kind of information. It transformed my life so much that it is my deepest wish to share this information with all of you, because I want to see all of us living our best lives. I know what it's like to struggle and not to have access to the opportunities that you feel that you deserve or want to create for yourself. So these are tools that are going to help you get there. Let me get to the next section here. So why learning galactic history makes this course unique? The reason why this course is unique because it's the only course that I know of out there that actually combines galactic history with a really step-by-step process on how to learn how to access the Akashic Records. And we created this course mainly because we wanted everyone to have the opportunity to access not just Earth records, but also higher level galactic records. This is going to help you be of greater service to the many of us on this planet right now who are starseeds, who are ancient souls who've come from other dimensions, other realities. And it's going to help you to be of better service to them rather than just focusing on the Earth records. Now, there's nothing wrong with focusing on the Earth records. Many Akashic readers do that. But I feel that you have that added level tool in order to be of greater service to the greater collective consciousness here on this planet. The other component I do want to share with you about accessing galactic records is that it actually enables you to, let me get sorry, I lost my train of thought here. I'll get back to that. But I think this course is unique because we use like production level videos. We have a plethora of documents, star maps, flow charts that kind of lay it all out there for you. And like I said, I don't think there's anything else out there like this. So I hope that you will consider it. Let me go on to the next component. I think I might have already answered some of these questions, course highlights, but let's go ahead and just go through that. So some of the highlights you're going to get from this course as you're going to be able to go at your own pace. I designed it this way because we all have busy lives and we all live in different time zones. I get a lot of students who are in different parts of the planet. And so it wasn't very practical to try to force people to all meet at a certain time when we have such varying time zones out there on this planet. So I created it in the way that I would say 80% of the course is going to be self-paced. So there's a certain amount of self-discipline to get through the videos and the homework and the course materials. You can do as little or as much as you want as far as going through the course. I don't look at your homework or grade them or anything like that. The homework is there mainly as a tool for yourself to stay on track with our information. But like I said, I think like with anything, you get into it what you put into it. So as much as you get into it, or as much what you get out of it is what you put into it. So hopefully that helps. Another course highlight is that you can take it with a friend or your spouse or your partner. I'm not going to force you to only do it yourself. I mean, we don't want to have watch parties with the course, but it's okay if you want to take it with your friend or if you want to take it with your partner. Unfortunately, because of the way Kajabi is set up, we can only issue one sort of certificate per purchase. So that's something to keep in mind. If you want to share the course with someone else, you'll have to decide who gets the certificate. But otherwise, you're welcome to share. Another thing is that, like I mentioned before, it is accessible by all time zones. You do it at your own pace. We do offer a lot of support. So we do have a Facebook group that we've set up specifically for GARC students that you're welcome to join. There's a lot of support in that group. I think we still have some of the old students who are part of the group. So you can interface with the previous students or with the current students. And I think last year we had some practice groups set up around the world where you can practice with your fellow students. I think the students pretty much set that up themselves. I didn't set it up, but that's all things that you can coordinate within the Facebook group. And then Christina, Ann, and myself, Ann Powers, we're going to be available for all questions. So if you want to just post a quick question on Kajabi or through the Facebook group, we're going to be available to answer your questions. So you're going to hopefully feel supported throughout the whole course. So we're not going to just leave you hanging there. I just want to share some student transformations. So let me bring up that section here. So these are just some testimonials that we received from prior students, and we've pretty much, I would say, most people that took this course were delighted with the course. They got a lot out of it. We've had some very glowing testimonials that have been shared with us. I would like to share some of those with you during this time. So this person says, I'm just going to bring my little iPad here. To all other creators of this amazing and uplifting course, GARC, a huge and respectful thank you from my heart to yours. As I first had to adapt to the teaching process, I enjoyed every nanosecond of it. What a power bank of knowledge and experience have you shared. What endless possibilities of support are offered. It will take a little bit more time to build my fluidity in reading Galactic Akashic Records, but you all, as my way showers, are my finest teachers. So now I feel like a young being leaving the warm nest. Thank you for enabling me to support evolving souls even more. And as we are all one, we stay in contact. Marie Louise, Let us go, I think is her last name. I want to thank you. The course has been awesome, all of it. Thank you for your dedication to helping all humanity evolve. I look forward to seeing and enrolling in your next course. This has been a great experience. I've been asking for help to access my Akashic records, and the universe heard my call for help. Satnam sister, Yvette Furtado. Dear Debbie, this 8 weeks was absolutely amazing. Thank you and your team so much for your incredible work, and for the Plus course, so much gratitude and appreciation for the beautiful videos and for all the information, for your efforts to help us grow, and for your hope work for the humanity. I really enjoyed every second from the course. I'm grateful for my new galactic family, love and blessings, Adrian Pergesi. This person says, thank you, Debbie and team. Awesome course and so helpful. Meredith Lego. Let's see. Thank you, Debbie and team, for putting together and delivering such an impactful and meaningful course. What a privilege to be with you and such amazing peer group at this time. I would like to take the opportunity to wish everyone fulfillment on their quest in life and great journeys into Galactic Akashic Records. Hope our paths cross again. Love, peace, and joy to you all. Margot Faith Amore. Debbie, I think of you sort of my mentor in all things Akashic. I've been following you for a long time. I would have never come this far without you. Team GARC, you're the best. Much appreciation for all your input and work. Course mates, well, what can I say? Such sheer pleasure conversing with you all. I have learned so much from this course and from you. Hope the future brings you much success. Thank you. Much love, Pat Browning. I'm going to do 2 more and that's it. And I'm going to do some short ones. I must say I've taken a lot of courses. This one is by far the best out of all of them. I am so glad I joined. Tracy Harris. Best team, best course ever. Thank you, Roy Marcos Ferreira. A lot of you are here because you're wanting to see what the little promotion is that we're offering. So let me share with you. I want to share that now before we get into the questions and answers. So what we're offering, thank you for being here, first of all. And what we're offering to all of you is if you decide to take this course, we're going to offer you $100 off the level 2 training. So you'll get a discount for we're currently working on the level 2 training, which is the Akashic Clearing course. We hope to offer that in the fall of this year. So those of you that want to join that and join us with this course will receive the $100 off. And we're going to extend that also to prior students. So people who have taken the course previously can also use this discount. We'll be sending that information out in a coupon code shortly. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to now, we're about what, 30 minutes in, or yeah, we good? Okay, so we got a little bit extra time here. So I'm going to get into some of the questions that we've received. Let me see if I can find that. Okay. I had it in Sheets. Okay, I think I do. Okay, here we go. All right, so I want to know how to channel information from the Akashic Records from extra-dimensional beings. This is a great question. I get a lot of people that want to do trance channeling, connecting with extraterrestrial beings. I found recently that I was able to channel these beings. I was on a star panel in a recent conference, and they wanted me to represent a certain star group. And Vivian Chavez, who is my star sister and I love so much, she took Arcturus. So I said, okay, I'll take Lyra because I know about Lyra, you know. So I was able to channel the lion beings, and that was really exciting. You're going to find with Akashic Records that you're going to be a conscious channeler. So you're not necessarily going to go into a trance or disconnect from who you are. You're going to still be connected with who you are as an individual or personality, but you're going to be able to connect with information from certain star groups. And that can be very, very intentional. So it's not like a random, free for all, like, oh, I'm just opening up my energy and anything can come in. You can definitely pinpoint who it is you want to connect with within the Akashic Records, and connect with the beings that you want to connect with. You're going to find as you do Akashic Records readings for yourself and others, you're going to be connecting with these groups of beings anyway. So you're going to develop a relationship or a connection with these beings that maybe you haven't been able to previously because you didn't have the exact, I would say, process and how to do that. So throughout this course, you will be able to learn how to do that and do it quite successfully. Great question, though. What beginner's book or source do you recommend to learn this Akashic Record skill for people who currently can't afford your program? I understand that $1,250 is a lot of money. And a lot of us are dealing with inflation and rising costs of living and everything else. If you're not able to take my course, there's two books that I recommend that I think would be most helpful. The first one would be How to Read the Akashic Records by Linda Howe, Dr. Linda Howe. She writes an amazing, very clear-cut book, and I actually used quite a bit of her processes in teaching the Akashic Records reading portion of this course because I was trained in her method. So I would definitely pick that up. The other book I would recommend, if you're interested in more the galactic historical component, until I'm able to get my book out there and published, would be The Prism of Lyra by Lissa Royale Holt. I would say if you have those two books, you have a good basis on how to read the Galactic Akashic Records. Okay, let me see. Is everyone able to access the Akashic Records after completing the course? That's a good question. I would say not everybody. There's always going to be those folks that maybe need more practice or need maybe some more one-on-one time with practicing the records. So I can't say 100% that, oh yeah, you're definitely going to be able to access the records. But we did have a very high percentage success rate with this course. I don't know if I can't really give a certain percentage. I want to say at least, I would say 85 to 90% of the people that took the course felt like they were pretty successful in accessing not just Earth records, but also the Galactic records. So that's a pretty decent percentage. Like I said before, I think what you get out of it is basically what you put into it. So, if you're putting in the work, the hours, the practice time, you're definitely going to be able to master the skills needed to access the records. Okay, here's another really good. You guys are asking really good questions. I like this. Do you need channeling or psychic abilities for the reading of the Akashic records? No, not necessarily. I think those are skills that you develop as you're learning to read the records. So you don't need to have these abilities. I'm not a great channeler. I mean, I'm doing much better at it now because I've been required to do it more for conferences and things. But I wasn't a channeler before I started learning to read the records. As far as being a psychic, I think I do have some psychic abilities, but am I the best psychic out there? No, I'm not. It's just the connection with the Akashic records that enables you to access that information. And a lot of it's very accurate. So no, I would say no, you don't need to have these abilities, but learning the Akashic records may help you to develop these abilities. So hopefully that helps you. Will this class also teach how to access Earth Akashic records or just discuss the differences between the Galactic and Earth records? You're going to learn to read the Akashic records, whether it's Earth records or Galactic records. We format this course to focus on Galactic records in the beginning of the course because that's why a lot of people take this course, is to have the ability to understand what they're seeing in the records. But we also cover a good portion of ancient Earth history during this course, not just galactic history. So we talk about Atlantis and Lemuria, and even a little bit about Egypt and some of the other civilizations, such as Avalon and in England. So we do access quite a bit of Earth information as well. So you're going to be able to access whatever you want. So no, it's not just limited to galactic history. Okay, I think we answered this question there already. Is there a payment plan available for your course? Yes, there is. There's a 2-part payment plan. And I do think you're able to set something else up with Kajabi, but you'll have to set that up with Kajabi. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to see if there's a good question here. What time will these modules take place? So this is how it's set up. Okay, so every Monday, you're going to get a link from Kajabi that will enable you to access, let's say, the module for that week. So we've sectioned this off to where you cannot jump ahead. So if you were in week 1, you're not going to be able to jump ahead to week 3. You have to go through week 1. So we send this link out every Monday, and you'll have immediate access to all the components of that module, whether it be videos, course materials, information, etc. So this enables you to really focus in on that section of the course for that week. Then the next Monday, you'll get the link for the next module, which will be module 2, and then the next one for module 3 and 4. I think the only week we don't really send out, I think we do send out a link, but it's not really much of anything in it, is week 5, because that's our catch-up week. So other than that, you're going to get a link to the module every single week. So there's no specific time that you have to access this information. We just send it out in an email. You're able to access it at your own leisure, at your own schedule. So hopefully that helps you. Okay. And what's the Akashic Records set in stone, or can your destiny be rewritten? That's a really interesting question. With Akashic Records, there is a certain fluidity to the records. I would say pretty much things that probably happened in the past can't be changed, okay? However, I found through doing a lot of Akashic clearings that you can set new intentions in the Akashic Records to rewrite your destiny, to maybe break yourself out of old karmic patterns or old traumas that might still be affecting you today. This is more information that we're going to be sharing with you during the Akashic Clearing course that's going to be offered later this year. Pretty much for this course, we're focusing more on just how to access the records, how to work with them, how to go through the 3 levels of healing, which we also train you on during this course. But we get into more of the nitty-gritty with this next course that's coming. Okay, what do I need to keep in mind in order during the program? Like any suggestions, for example, avoiding alcohol, suggested times for study, basically all the suggestions. These are tips and tricks that we will train you on, I think it was the first, I think it's module 1, we go through some of this, we go through some guidelines, and then also module 7. We also give you guys some guidelines. Me personally, when I do Akashic Records readings, I don't imbibe in any alcohol or recreational drugs. I'm not a big alcohol recreational drug imbiber anyway, so I'm just not. It just affects me in a way, maybe a little more intensely than it does other people. But definitely, if you're doing Akashic Records reading for yourself or for others, you definitely do not want to be accessing records. We even give you kind of a psychic list. It was a list of ethics and guidelines that you're able. We have an actual document for this. These are guidelines you can use for your practice. That just gives you just some good how-to tips on how to I would say set up your practice, what's some ethics, you might want to keep in mind as you're working with clients, that sort of thing. So we get into the nitty-gritty of all that. As far as suggested times of study, I would say that's probably more on you, like what works for you. We don't really set too many restrictions on that. We do give some suggestions, like for instance, we recommend, I think in a module 6 that you do 10 practice sessions with other people so that you get very, very comfortable. So we will go ahead and we have time for some more questions, but we're just trying to keep on track here. How can I find out which galactic family I come from? Many thanks in advance. How can I tune into their frequency? Well, one of the nice things that we offered, there's a little freebie that I offered along with this course. It's kind of like a pre-course training, is a little webinar we did, I think a couple of years ago, called Recognizing Extraterrestrial Frequencies. So that's going to be like a pre-course training that you can do even before you start the course, just to practice accessing those frequencies. And we train you how to open up your third eye, all of that in that little training. It's like a little 2-hour training. It's really pretty good. It's been one of our most popular offerings. But in that little pre-course, you'll be able to learn how to recognize frequency colors or frequency energies to determine what star systems you're connected with, or even what star systems your clients are connected with. So we do offer that. Unfortunately, if you've already purchased that webinar, we can't give you a refund for it, and we certainly can't switch it out for another webinar. That's just what we offer for this course because it is considered to be a pre-course skill that we want you to take on. So, so hopefully that helps. Will there be private sessions? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to work privately with students. However, like I mentioned before, we do have practice groups that will be set up. We usually do this through the Facebook group or through Kajabi, where you'll be able to join a practice group that's in your time zone or your area and be able to practice with other students. I am kind of exploring the idea of maybe doing a practice rundown during one of our Q&A sessions. Like maybe we'll just go through a whole Akashic Records reading process. I think we did that last year, but unfortunately, I just don't have the time to work with people one-on-one. Okay. How can we best prepare for this amazing opportunity? Do you have tips and practices to strengthen our intuitive gifts? I would say that little course that I mentioned will be a great way to start off. And I would say reading I think we do send you, a list of just a couple of books that you can purchase where you can actually kind of prepare yourself for the course if you want to. And by all means, I do give kind of an extensive book recommendation list, so don't feel obligated like you have to purchase every single book on the list. None of us have that kind of money, even myself. I certainly don't have that kind of money to just drop on a bunch of books. But we can just give the books recommendation mostly as a guideline to access different information, if whatever you feel drawn to. So it's mainly based on what you feel drawn to. I do say that the two books you definitely want to get is How to Read the Akashic Records by Linda Howe and The Prism of Lyra. I think those are two books you definitely would like to get. Would the course sessions be at the same time every time as I'm in the UK? Like I mentioned before, this is self-paced, so you can access this information in your time zone anytime you want. We do send out the link to each module. I think it's like 8 a.m. Mountain Time every, I don't know, maybe even earlier than that, but we do send those out pretty much at the same time every single week. So you will have immediate access to that information, and whatever that plays out in your time zone is what it plays out. But I do think we send those out fairly early. I might even be earlier than 8 a.m. our time. But as far as the question and answer sessions that we do every Sunday, now those do require you're not required to attend them. Again, that's just there for your benefit, but we do offer those every Sunday for the 8 weeks, with the exception of week 5 at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So whatever time that plays out for you in your time zone, that's when we always offer that. It's probably a decent time difference for European folks, but I know it's kind of dicey for those of you that are in, say, Australia or Asia. So we do record all those sessions and we post them on the Kajabi and the modules. So even if you can't attend those live, you can certainly have access to the information. And we usually try to post those like the day after. So you'll definitely get access to that. Okay, this is an interesting question. Did any Brazilian person did this course before? Yes, I do think there was a couple of people from Brazil last year that took the course, a few others from South America. But yes, we do get a fair number of people from all over the world, including South America. We've got quite a few from Asia, and actually quite a few from the UK, Australia, and also Europe. So yeah, it doesn't matter where you're from. Should we take this course if we just want to learn to access our own records and not do readings for others? Yes, this course is designed for you to use in whatever capacity you want to use it. So you don't necessarily have to be intentional about, oh, I want to be an Akashic reader and do this as a business in order to use the course. I think the course we've designed it to where it's great for people that are beginner level, it's great for intermediate level, and it's great even for advanced level people. So you're able to learn those skills even just for yourself, or you just want to do readings for friends and family. That's great. You don't have to use this as a business. Okay, I think I may have already answered this question, but how would this class be different than learning to read the regular Akashic records? We do teach you those skills, just like any other Akashic course, but I do want to emphasize that there's a lot of information in this course about galactic star races, galactic history, about those galactic components beyond just a regular Akashic Records reading course. So that's what sets this course apart from other Akashic courses. Oh, this is an interesting question here. I actually like this question. My main question and concern is one of integrity. How much certainty can I have that I will be able to access the Akashic Records and be 100% honest and ethical about the information I will give to my clients? We talk actually about this in the course, in the ethics section of the course. So obviously, you want to have the highest ethics possible when doing readings for others. And we do teach you this portion of, I think it's, I don't know if it's modules, I think it's module 7 where we teach this, but the guidelines I always used when I was getting into the records, because obviously you're doing readings a lot of times for people you don't even know. So so a lot of times you have this back of your head question is this accurate? Am I giving them the right information? I usually rely very heavily on my guides, my clients' guides, and the Akashic guides when I'm receiving information in the Akashic records. So if I'm at the point where, you know what, I'm not sure about this information, I don't know if I should tell my clients this, you're more than welcome to ask the guides, and you're going to learn to have this connection with the guides and running communication with the guides as you're doing Akashic Records readings. So a lot of times you can just ask the guides, is this appropriate to share with my client? And they can let you know yes or no. Usually the guides are very, very clear. I have never been in a situation where I felt like, oh, I'm not real clear on whether or not I should share this information. Usually the guides will let me know, yes, you should share this information. Usually it's a yes, but sometimes they might even say no, like, no, they're not ready for this, or no, this is not appropriate. So do rely on the guides, when you're going through the records. And what I found with Akashic Records, there's a certain component of it where it is based on your interpretation of what you're seeing. But I found that more often than not, even when I was questioning the information, I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to go for it and share the information. And it's been like a light bulb moment for my client, where it was just like, okay, this doesn't make sense to me, but for some reason it made sense to the client. So I think you're going to find some very happy surprises with that. Let's see, do we have time for how many questions? Okay, we have a few more. We could do a few more. Okay, this is another really good question. Can I be an Akashic reader along with being a practitioner of Dolores Cannon's hypnosis technique called QHHT? I would say absolutely yes. I think you'll find that even though you are accessing the higher realm information through QHHT, adding on the Galactic Akashic Records reading skills is going to enable you to interpret that information even more succinctly than maybe you had previously just using QHHT. I think it's a good add-on tool to QHHT, actually. It's a great add-on tool even for other modalities such as Reiki or theta healing or healing touch or any other modality that you want to work with. And we do talk about this quite a bit during this course, how to incorporate the Akashic reading skills with your current modality, and that includes QHHT. But my answer is absolutely yes. I think it would be a great benefit. It's not going to replace QHHT, but it's definitely going to be a great add-on. Okay, let's see if there's any other really good questions. Okay. I have studied many spiritual modalities over the last decade and have spent enormous amounts of money on courses. Girl, I know what you mean. I've done the same. Been there, done that. Okay. The experience and teachings were wonderful, but from a financial point of view, to build business structure, the work has not been a profitable venture. The outlay makes me nervous. What makes this course so different? Well, like I said a few times before, I think what you put into it is what you get out of it. But one of the nice things about this course is that we do touch on how to build a spiritual practice using this course. I think during the graduation ceremony last year, we did like a whole hour on how to, just some different skill sets on how to, I think it was even 2 hours. I think we spent 2 hours on that, but on just different skills to develop to build a spiritual business. My goal with this course is to help you all be successful with it. It doesn't do you any good just to have more information. I want to see you using this information. And if it helps you in any way, when I was at the Sedona Ascension Conference last month, was it this month? Yeah, it was still this month, sorry. It was earlier this month. There were several of my students that was doing readings, and they had their own booths, and they were doing really well, and they came up and thanked me for all the information they learned. And it just made me feel good that, wow, they're actually using this information. One gal created a oracle card deck with all the different races. Another girl was doing starseed readings. And I mean, it was just amazing just to see how people are taking this information and running with it. So I would say, we do help support you in that. I'm actually thinking about offering a webinar or a course on how to build a spiritual business. So maybe that'll help you too. But yeah, really great question. And believe me, I've been there too. I've spent an enormous amount of money on spiritual courses. And during the time I was doing it, a few years ago, I was like, what am I going to use this for? What's this all about? But I found as I started my practice, I was using everything that I was learning. So I think this will be helpful for you. Okay, I'm very interested in the angelic realm and would like to know if the course will talk about that. We don't really focus on the angelic realm that much because there's so much other training out there on the angelic realm. Doreen Virtue, when she was still doing angelics, has provided some amazing training on that. Kyle Gray is another one you might want to go to that does a lot of training on angelics. Joan of Angels does some great training on that as well. We don't focus that much on angelics. We touch upon it with the Elohim section, but we don't focus on it so much. So if that's what you're looking for, this course is probably not going to provide that much information on that. We may decide to do an adjunct course, like an adjunct Akashic course on working with angelics, because I do think it's a great idea. But there was so much information in this course about galactic history that we just couldn't veer off into the angelic realm. But good question, though. What does receiving a Galactic Akashic Records entail for a client, or is it solely based on their questions? That's actually a really good question, too. I think everybody has their own style on how to do the Akashic Records readings. I did a free flow. I didn't really base it so much on questions. So when I was doing a reading for a client, I was just accessing the records, and there was so much information I was downloading that I found that I was answering their questions without even them asking it, honestly. I mean, that was happening so much that I don't even really take questions until maybe later on in the session. Like, maybe they might have a question that I didn't answer for them, or maybe they have a burning question on something that came up during the session. But I think it depends on your style. Some Akashic readers like to get questions beforehand or during the session. I'm more of a free flow kind of person. Now, if I'm doing consequent Akashic Records readings for clients, that might be more of a question answer type of thing, but most of the time it's free flow. But thanks for that. Do I have time for one more? Okay, one more, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, let's see. I want to ask a good one that hasn't been asked yet. Okay, this is a good question here. How long do we have this course available for consultation? This is one thing I didn't bring up, so I'm glad you asked this question. You actually have lifetime access to the course. So once you've taken the course, you're not going to be able to download the videos. Those are proprietary information, but all of the materials, the documents, the materials, the star maps, the flow charts, you'll be able to download. And even if we've upgraded them or updated them, you'll be able to download the updated ones as well, because we're always trying to improve this course as we go along. But yes, it'll be available lifetime access. So if you purchase the course once, you'll be able to access it, even if it's a year or two afterwards. So hope that answers your question. I think this concludes our webinar. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining me and my team. We're excited to offer this course again. Again, the course dates are April 1st. That's when you're going to receive the first module, through May 28th. So we're going to have the graduation ceremony on May 28th. I think we'll do it at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you again. Many blessings to all of you. And I'm so happy to be here with you today.